This is NDTV. And you're watching NDTV Hindu.
What is your caste? Census officials will now officially ask you that question while taking your count. Private schools fight back after Justice Govindarajan says his fee structure will stay this year. They're winding their way to the Chief Minister. 3,000 more new autos to ply in Chennai, but no solution from the government on the non-usage of meters to fleece commuters. After discussions hit a stalemate, government sets 31st August as the deadline to BlackBerry either fall in line or face a ban. Jewelry retailers turn swindlers under the garb of religion, sell elephant hair for the cost of gold. And Chennai Super Kings announce a bombastic squad all set to go to South Africa, all guns blazing.
If ever a side deserved to win the IPL, here it is, the men in yellow.
You're watching the Late Night News with me, Sai Manish. Those were the top stories that we're going to be getting you more details about. Let's have a look at the national headlines before that. A candid Chidambaram says Bhopal has been dealt with most unsatisfactorily by governments in the past 26 years. An interim report of the CAG has found irregularities in the contracts for the Commonwealth Games. Suresh Kalmadi now in the net. Gujarat High Court rejects demand for a CBI probe into the Ishrat Jahan encounter case, says SIT is enough. Britain's Health Department issues an alert after a new superbug prevalent in India and Pakistan spreads, appears resistant to antibiotics. Now, Tamil Nadu has a population of around 6.5 crores, but if the claims of all caste parties in the state are to be believed, the population shoots up to more than double that number. And even as these political parties celebrate and take credit for the approval of the caste-based census by the group of ministers, this caste-based census could finally bust the inflated claims and also the vested interests of these political parties.
Does it all boil down to vote bank politics? That's the big question that's doing the rounds after the caste-based census was approved by the group of ministers. Caste-based parties have asserted that the data on caste population could boost their political momentum. Parties in the state are jumping the gun to celebrate the decision and even take credit for this move.
இந்திய முழுக்க இருக்கிற சாதிகளின் எண்ணிக்கையை கணக்கெடுத்து அவர்களுடைய எண்ணிக்கை எந்தெந்த சாதிக்கு எத்தனை கோடி பேர், எத்தனை லட்சம் பேர், எத்தனை ஆயிரம் பேர் வாழ்கிறார்கள் என்று அதன் அடிப்படையில் சமூக நீதி வழங்க வேண்டும் என்பது பாட்டாளி மக்கள் கட்சியினுடைய கோரிக்கை. அந்த கோரிக்கைக்கு இன்றைக்கு வெற்றி கிடைத்திருக்கிறது. அந்த வெற்றியை பாட்டாளி மக்கள் கட்சி மனதார பாராட்டி வரவேற்கிறது.
But political analysts say the census will provide scientific data to make policy decisions and may bust exaggerated claims.
So it will be really helpful for the government to be more to target their programs aimed at uplifting the BCs. Past census shows that it's around the SC/ST population is around 24 to 21, 24.1 actually to be precise, and other castes it's usually around 20 to 30. So rest of it will come to around 46 to 50%. There is some kind of confusion about it. What exactly is the figure? So there cannot be an exaggeration. There will not be any exaggerated figure. It's very difficult to go beyond 50 or maximum 60 in the claim.
Not all are convinced. Some activists believe this is just a political weapon that parties will wield to achieve their ends.
Tamil Nadu caste political weapon இருக்கிறதுனால தான் இத்தனை பிரச்சனையே. இது வந்து நேரோ பொலிட்டிக்கல் ends பத்தி தான் நம்ம யோசனை பண்ணிக்கிட்டு இருக்கோமே ஒழிய உண்மையிலேயே இந்த காஸ்ட் டிவிஷன்ஸ் வேணுமா அப்படின்னு பார்க்கும்பொழுது ஜாதிகள் என்பது பிரிவினைக்கு ஒரு காரணமாக ஆயிடுதே ஒழிய ஒன்னாக்குறதுக்காக இல்லை.
The group of ministers may have approved the caste-based census, but that certainly has not ended the debate. In Chennai with Peer Mohammed, Nithila, NDTV Hindu.
Now, the private schools won't give up. It seems 2 days after Justice Govindarajan said his recommended fee structure will stay for this year, there is no word of refund of excess fee collected by private schools. In fact, they are only hoping to collect more. For that, they have taken their protest to a new level. Sources have told NDTV Hindu that private school authorities are preparing for a meeting with the Tamil Nadu Chief Minister, M. Karunanidhi, to discuss the school fee structure. The case of the private schools was left limping after the ultimatum delivered by the Govindarajan committee just the day before. Now, as a last resort, the private schools are seeking the help of the Chief Minister to revert the recommendations of the committee. The committee, however, has stated clearly that their recommendations, the revised fee structure, will stay for this year and any changes are due only next year.
Certainly we will not be able to manage in running the school. In case we have to really comply with that fees fixed by the committee, then options are two. One is we have to cut down the strength of both the teaching and supporting staff. Number two, strength of the students in each class also to be increased from 40 to 60. Definitely it will affect the quality of education.
Now, more than 3,000 auto rickshaws will soon join Chennai's already large fleet. The first 10 permits were issued today by the Chief Minister at the Old Secretariat. It marks the end of a 12-year freeze of inducting new autos. The government hopes the move will bring an end to overcharging by drivers. Salim reports.
This man is one of the proud owners of a new auto rickshaw. He's optimistic that his vehicle, to be inducted in Chennai's already large fleet of public auto rickshaws, will produce profits. 3,100 new permits are to be issued to operate in Chennai and 4,900 permits for other parts of the state. The government's decision to induct new auto rickshaws in the public transport system for the first time in 12 years has sparked speculation that the move was linked to state election due next year. But the State Minister for Transport, K.N. Nehru, has denied it. Justifying the move, the minister pointed out that even small cities had more auto rickshaws on its roads. Bangalore has 78,000 public auto rickshaws and Hyderabad has a fleet of about 64,000. The new auto rickshaws will run on environment-friendly liquefied natural gas or LNG. The nationalized Indian Overseas Bank is offering loans to buy them. Chennai in particular is notorious for overcharging. Minister Nehru hopes more auto rickshaws will force drivers to slash fares. In Chennai with Salim, this is Zoya Thomas for NDTV Hindu.
Well, the BlackBerry crisis is now looming large, with the government taking a tough stance and threatening research in motion the makers of BlackBerry with a ban starting the 31st of August. Now, what factors have contributed to this problem? What's in store for all those who use the BlackBerry? And what options are in front of you if you are a BlackBerry user in case this ban does indeed come into effect? NDTV Hindu seeks the answers.
Well, now the BlackBerry has been in the thick of storm, with the government of India today announcing a ban on emailing and messaging services from the BlackBerry instrument. So that's the biggest development that we have seen from the past few months. Now, what this basically means is it essentially puts RIM research in motion in direct opposition to the government of India. So it's RIM versus government of India. Now, the main bone of contention here, what it boils down to is access to information. Now, what a smartphone instrument, a BlackBerry instrument, what it essentially does is that it collects the information, it encodes the information, then passes it on to the relevant server, which happens to be enterprise servers which are overseas. Right? The information now gets transferred to the recipient, which again has a product key, and based upon that, it decodes the information and then allows for display. So means of communication which can be used by anti-national elements is a major concern now. So that is the area that India has been pressing at. Now, just before India, Saudi Arabia, the likes of UAE, Lebanon, also had a similar tiff with the RIM, where they were demanding greater access to information. And the latest entry to this list is Indonesia, which too has expressed concern regarding the access to information and the possibility and the potential threat that it poses. And talking about impact here, talking about the deadline and the impact, August 31, come August 31st, if the ban is put in place, then we're staring at about 1 million users of BlackBerry phones who will be the phones, the emailing services and the messenger services will be disabled, making those phones pretty much as good as any average phone, which would allow only two purposes. One would be to make calls. The second would be a simple function, which is to access the internet. So that will be the immediate impact. It will obviously disable corporate communication, mobile corporate communication to be specific.
Now, you know there's something seriously wrong when people start buying here at the same price as gold. Gold retailers have chosen to rely on the age-old tactic of tugging at religious sentiments to loosen the purse strings of customers. NDTV Hindu tells you how many jewelers could have taken you for a ride if you have bought jewelry with, well, elephant hair. Yes, you saw that right, elephant hair. Take a look.
How much are a few strands of elephant hair worth? 10 rupees? 100? 500? How about 18,500 rupees for every 10 grams? Well, that's pretty much what you paid this Adi if you bought a ring or a bangle with an elephant's hair. Playing on religious beliefs, famous retailers in the city add to the weight of the jewelry by using elephant hair.
Traditional, very sentimental reason why they have elephant hair on gold.
Okay.
It's basically there's a superstitious, or maybe there's actually something which people believe that the elephant tail gives you courage.
Worse, the customers are then charged for the combined weight of the gold and the hair. They support the pricing tactics by claiming that elephant hair is rare and commands the same value as gold.
Actually cannot get the weight separately and the gold, because once it's molded, that's how you can weight. You can't weight separately and get it out.
Right, so customer has to pay for the entire...
They have to pay for the entire thing. It's actually the elephant tail's cost. It's nothing more than that.
Okay.
It'll be the same cost as gold. Because it's very rare to get elephant tails. It's not that easy to get elephant tails.
Moreover, retailers argue that the minimal weight of hair does not affect the weight of the jewelry item. But let's take this bracelet for example. The weight of the bracelet is 11.830 grams, with gold consisting about 11.6 grams. Quite unlike the claims of retailers that the weight of hair can be measured, and in this case is at 0.23 grams. Effectively, by buying this item, you're being swindled out of half a thousand rupees. But there's more to it. On the condition of anonymity, a few employees confessed that retailers often use cheap plastic in place of authentic elephant hair. They also revealed that it adds greater weight, allowing the retailer to charge more. It seems that the gold merchants have turned an elephant into a gold mine, and we have bought the story. In Chennai, with Ashmit Kumar, Ramanathan for NDTV Hindu.
We're slipping into a short break right now. Up on the other side, the country is in acute shortage of courses that can help create a Miami within mini mills. And look who's keeping Chennai in the pink of health for more than a century. All this and much more, stay with us.